Dad, help me. What the? Why is this tiny cub calling me dad? We're not even the same color or species. On top of that, I've been reborn as a black tiger for 2.5 years now, and I awaken the self-evolution system. Every single day, it's nothing but training. I had no time to go sneaking around with any white tigress. Damn it. Was this really how Raya's new life was going to go? Was she really going to end up as wolf food? In her past life, she had been the empress of the human race. During the war against the Ghost Clan, she was betrayed by those at the top of her own people. Using a secret technique, she preserved her soul and reincarnated into the body of this small white tiger. But because her fur was pure white without a single stripe, she had been abandoned by her parents not long after she was born. Before she could even get her bearings, a pack of wild wolves had already set their sights on her. Watching the wolves close in, Raya burned with defiance. Cornered as she was, the pride of a former empress refused to let her simply wait for death. She dug her claws into the ground and swept her gaze across the pack, desperately searching for any chance of survival. Just then, a gaunt wolf crept in from the side and suddenly lunged straight at Raya. Raya heard the howl and spun around. A wolf filled her vision, growing larger by the split second. Despair surged through her. Was this really the end? The great empress, reborn only to die in a wolf's jaws? She still had so much left to do. Reclaim her power, rise back to the top, crush the traitors beneath her feet, and cut down every last enemy with her own hands. But with wolf fangs bearing down on her, all of that felt like nothing but a dream. Raya was on the verge of giving up. Suddenly, a dark blur shot across her vision, blindingly fast, unstoppable. In an instant, massive jaws clamped around the wolf's throat. Crack! The wolf that had been lunging for her crumpled, its neck crushed. My massive, powerful figure loomed before the wolf pack like a demon god. The overwhelming pressure I radiated froze every wolf in place. After 2.5 years of relentless training, I had become the nightmare of every creature within dozens of miles. The alpha wolf's pupils shrank in an instant. It stumbled, nearly collapsing from sheer terror. I moved in a flash, faster than the eye could follow, and slammed one wolf into the ground with a single swipe. Then I did the same to another, snapping its neck in one bite before it could even let out a yelp. Oh! The alpha let out a long, desperate howl and bolted without looking back. The rest of the pack, even more terrified, scattered in every direction. Pathetic, they didn't even dare fight back. I spat out a mouthful of wolf fur, a trace of contempt on my face. These wolves strutted around the forest like they owned it, but the moment they faced a real predator, they fell apart. Before Raya could even process what had happened, the wolves were gone. She stood frozen, her round eyes wide open, as if she couldn't believe she had just been saved. I was actually rescued. What a fearsome tiger king. I lowered my head and looked down at Raya, a hint of surprise in my eyes. The little one had shown real courage back there. In all my years here, other animals couldn't even come near me, let alone hold my gaze. Yet this little white tiger showed no fear whatsoever. She stared right back at me without flinching. Under my gaze, Raya couldn't help feeling a knot of nerves. Her small body trembled slightly, but she fought to keep herself composed. Not bad, little one. Keep living. I looked at Raya, a quiet approval in my eyes. Then I tore off a wolf leg and dropped it in front of her. It was still streaked with blood, carrying the thick scent of raw meat. Wait, Raya snapped out of it, staring at the wolf leg, then limped after me as fast as she could. Her steps were unsteady, but there was no hesitation in them. I stopped and looked back at Raya, puzzled. Something you need, little one? I want to follow you, Raya said, her voice full of hope. She knew she had no real chance of surviving this forest alone. She couldn't even fight back against a wolf pack. If luck hadn't brought her to me, she'd already be dead. She knew luck wouldn't hold forever, so she had to seize this moment, get the Tiger King to take her in, and give her a chance to survive. I frowned slightly. Follow me? Where are your parents? Raya lowered her head, putting on the most pitiful look she could manage. My fur is different, so my parents drove me away. I've been starving for 3 days. She kept up the act, but deep inside she felt a sting of shame. She had once been an empress who held the power of life and death over countless people, and now she was playing the sad little cub to earn someone's pity. Those words hit me right where it hurt. Memories of my own childhood flooded back. Abandoned by my parents, clawing my way through life alone. A wave of sympathy rose in me. I thought I'd had it bad. I never expected to find another soul who had walked the same path. Fine, you can stay with me. It gets lonely out here anyway. Having some company wouldn't hurt. With my permission granted, Raya carefully fell in behind me. Her tiny figure beside my massive frame made her look like a little charm dangling from a giant. As they walked, Raya studied me with open curiosity. I had 2 dead wolves hanging from my jaws, yet I moved with effortless grace, over hills, across rivers, as if the terrain meant nothing. Normally I'd be back at my territory in no time, but with an injured little white tiger in tow, I had no choice but to keep slowing down for her. How had this creature built such a powerful body, before the aura awakening had even begun? Though she hadn't been reborn long, Raya was certain she was still in the same world as her past life. This world had the twin suns, 2 suns overlapping, one near and one far. From the ground, the near sun appeared wrapped inside the distant one, easy to miss if you weren't looking. And then there was the moon. At night, it glowed a deep violet, gradually brightening to a vivid purple before cycling back, over and over. She just didn't know how much longer until the aura awakening. Without aura, none of the cultivation techniques she had mastered in her past life were usable. Until then, it seemed her only option was to stick with this black tiger. I was moving ahead when I suddenly realized the little white tiger had fallen behind. I stopped and looked back. Raya was limping along painfully, her pace agonizingly slow. Her hind leg had taken a serious wound. Blood kept seeping out, staining the white fur around it a deep red. Tough little one. Real grit. My respect for the small white tiger went up another notch. Hearing that, Raya couldn't help lifting her chin slightly. A small wound like this? When she was Empress, she had once lost an entire arm and never cried out in pain. She held her chin just a little higher, her wide eyes full of quiet pride. She might be nothing more than a tiny tiger cub right now, but the Empress in her had never left. I looked at Raya and broke into a grin. "You're moving too slow like that, little one. Come on up." I crouched down. After a moment's hesitation, Raya climbed onto my back, and immediately felt just how powerfully built I was. She couldn't help wondering, what does this tiger do every day to get muscles like these? As Empress, she had seen cultivators of every kind, but a tiger this physically powerful before the aura awakening? That was something she had never encountered. I rose to my feet. Raya instantly snapped to attention, all four paws gripping my fur tight. "Hold on." With that, I exploded forward, a bolt of black lightning tearing through the forest. No more waiting for her to keep up. This time I ran at full pace, and that speed shattered Raya's understanding of what I was capable of. All over again. In under 2.5 minutes, we arrived at my territory. A crystal clear stream ran through it, babbling softly, where I always came to wash up after training. There used to be bears, wolves, and wild boars living here too, but after I arrived, they either became my meals or found somewhere else to be. Clean your wound first. I set down my prey and Raya, then turned and walked away. This was my territory. No ordinary beast would dare come here to hurt Snowpaw or steal her food. Raya watched me go, blinking slowly. She hadn't expected the black tiger to be this thoughtful. He even knew to tell her to clean her wound. This tiger was far smarter than she had imagined. She carefully dipped her injured leg into the stream. The cool water stung the wound and made her flinch. She gritted through it and gently washed the wound clean. As she did, her mind kept turning over the same question. He looks after the weak. He knows to clean wounds. Just what is this black tiger? A short while later, I returned to the territory with several plants in my mouth and walked toward her, chewing them into a paste as I approached. "What is that?" Raya couldn't help but ask. I glanced at her. "Herbs. They'll treat your wound. It might sting a little at first. Just bear with it. It won't last long." Before Raya could recover from her shock, I had already pressed the chewed herbs directly onto her wound. Raya's eyes went wide. The black tiger was actually applying medicine to her. She stared at her injured leg in disbelief. How could a tiger possibly know anything about herbal medicine? What Raya didn't know was that I was no ordinary black tiger. In my past life, I had been a graduate student at a medical school, specializing in traditional medicine. Out here in the deep forest, plants were everywhere. Identifying a few herbs was nothing. Once the herbs were applied, I extended a paw and gave her little head a gentle pat. "Rest up, little one. I'll go get you something to eat." Raya blinked, glancing over at the wolf carcasses. "Isn't food already right there?" But she turned to find me already working on the carcass, tearing off the fur, rinsing it clean, every movement practiced and fluid, as though I'd done it 1,000 times. Raya's eyes flew open. She was stunned. This black tiger was actually this particular about food. Skinning it first before eating? She had been somewhat resistant to eating raw meat, but watching me prepare the food with such care, her discomfort faded almost immediately. By now, I had finished washing the wolf meat and set it on a clean, flat rock nearby. I caught Raya watching me and assumed she was hungry. "Want some, little one? Just a little longer. It's not ready yet." Raya tilted her head adorably, her small eyes full of big questions. "The fur is off. It's all been rinsed clean. If we're not eating yet, why put it on the rock?" She watched me pick up a sharpened stick and a flat piece of wood, arrange some dry grass on the board, then plant myself firmly on the ground. My front paws gripped the stick and worked it back and forth, starting a fire. No ordinary tiger could ever do something like this. But with all the stat points I'd accumulated, I had long since left the realm of ordinary beasts behind. Raya stared at the scene as if she'd seen a ghost, eyes stretched wide. Making fire with sticks, this black tiger could actually start a fire. Watching him rinse the wolf skin clean had already been outrageous enough. And yet, here was something even more outrageous. With practiced hands, a small flame sputtered to life from the dry grass. I quickly grabbed more grass and piled it on. The fire grew stronger under my care, casting warm light across the surroundings. Raya watched the dancing flames, a strange feeling stirring inside her. She had never imagined a tiger could master skills like these. The warm glow of the firelight touched her face, and for the first time since her rebirth, she felt something she hadn't known in a long time: safety. I set up a wooden roasting rack and began cooking the meat. Scorch marks on the rack made it clear this was far from its first use. At this point, Raya was watching with a kind of numb acceptance. She had made up her mind, this black tiger was no ordinary creature. Could he actually be a reincarnated human, just like her? While the meat roasted, I kept glancing over at Raya. I knew most wild animals were terrified of fire, yet Raya hadn't backed away as I expected. She had actually moved closer. The firelight danced in her eyes, and that caught me off guard. "Pretty brave, little one. But don't get too close. A spark lands on you, and that beautiful white fur of yours is gone." Raya nodded blankly and shuffled back a little. Before long, the meat was sizzling, dripped with fat, and the aroma spread through the air. Raya was starving. She couldn't tear her eyes off the meat on the rack, practically drooling with longing. The mouth-watering smell kept tickling her little nose, making it twitch, while her stomach growled non-stop. I laughed at the sight and tore off a wolf leg, handing it to her. You're starving, aren't you? Go ahead, eat. Raya stared at the sizzling wolf leg, joy filling her heart. She snatched it up and started wolfing it down. She was eating so fast that her little mouth was stuffed to bursting. The meat was clearly burning her tongue, but she never stopped tearing into it. Watching her eat like that, a warmth I couldn't quite explain rose inside me. Every day, training alone, the silence of the forest had often made me feel so lonely. But now, with Raya around, life felt like it had a new color to it. From now on, little one, live with me. Raya stopped eating the moment she heard it, then nodded without a second thought. Okay. It was exactly what she had been hoping for. She was far too weak right now. Having a powerful protector wasn't a bad deal at all. Besides, once the aura awakening came and she had regained her strength, she could always protect this black tiger in return. I looked at the trust in Raya's eyes and nodded, a quiet satisfaction settling over me. Good. From this day forward, I'm your dad. Raya froze mid-motion. She looked up at me, eyes wide, a chunk of meat still dangling from the corner of her mouth. The thought screaming inside her, she was the Empress. The Empress. And he wanted her to call him Dad? What's wrong? You don't want to? I watched the turmoil in Raya's eyes, genuinely puzzled. My massive frame cast a long shadow in the firelight. The question snapped her out of it. Inside, she was screaming. Want to? Of course I don't want to. You're just an ordinary tiger. You think you're worthy of being called father by the Empress herself? Seeing Raya go quiet, a flicker of disappointment crossed my face. If you don't want to, forget it. My voice carried just a trace of hurt. I turned back to the fire. I had honestly thought the little one would take up the offer without much fuss. After all, finding each other in this forest, that was fate. If she didn't want to, I wasn't going to force it. Raya stared at my back, and a sudden wave of unease swept through her. Is he actually upset? What if he really is, and he drives me away? With the strength she had right now, she couldn't survive the wild without this black tiger's protection. Her small paws scratched lightly at the ground, a mess of awkwardness and embarrassment churning inside her. Having the Empress call him Dad, this was just too. As a former Empress, Raya knew better than anyone how this world worked. Grow strong yourself, or find a powerful protector. Without one or the other, you didn't even have the right to survive. Right now, she knew plenty of cultivation techniques and had ways to rise quickly, but the problem was, the aura awakening hadn't come yet. All her knowledge and none of it could be used. On top of that, her body was pitifully weak. Thinking that, Raya looked up at me again. Whatever else was true, he had saved her. He had taken care of her. The debt of being raised by someone, that was heavier than the sky. Finally, Raya gritted her teeth and made the hardest decision of her life. Dad, I stopped dead. Then I spun around and looked at Raya, my eyes full of warmth and delight. Perfect. From this moment on, you're Daddy's precious little girl. Come here, let me hold you. Without a second thought for the meat still roasting on the rack, I turned and pulled Raya into my arms. My large, thick paws moved gently over her little head. Raya kept her head down as I stroked it, while a tidal wave of pure exasperation crashed through her. The humiliation of it all. The humiliation. The Empress, calling an ordinary tiger Dad. This could never, under any circumstances, reach the ears of a third creature. A moment later, I lowered my head and met Raya's gaze. Right. You don't have a name yet, do you? Raya's stomach dropped. She started to speak, then caught herself. If she gave her real name, a name that sounded so distinctly human, the black tiger would definitely get suspicious. I was already thinking it over, too focused to notice anything off about Raya's expression. I'll call you Snowpaw from now on. Snowpaw? She was the Empress. The Empress, and this was the name he came up with, and she was a tiger. Fierce, powerful tiger. Did he even understand that? Yep, Snowpaw it is. Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? I hadn't noticed anything wrong with Raya at all and was looking at her with an eager, expectant face. Raya was screaming on the inside. A nice ring to it? Where? By his logic. She got Snowpaw because she's white, so shouldn't he be called Blackie for all that dark fur of his? But the moment she met my gaze, her little mouth went perfectly obedient. She nodded again and again, her small white chin bobbing. It's lovely. I really like it. Then it's settled. Your nickname is Snowpaw. I looked at Raya with satisfaction, a deep sense of accomplishment swelling inside me. Being a tiger dad for the first time, a real weight of responsibility had just landed on my shoulders. I gave her little head another gentle pat. Be good, Snowpaw. Eat slowly. Don't choke. Daddy's going to keep roasting that wolf meat for you. The word daddy nearly sent Raya's sense of dignity over the edge. She endured it. Once the aura awakening came, she was leaving this black tiger behind. This shameful episode could never, ever be allowed to spread. The next morning, Raya woke up. She opened her eyes to find me already standing, looking her way. Come on, Snowpaw. Time to train with Daddy. Raya tilted her head, completely puzzled. Train? Is that actually how he got a body like that? Then I got down and started doing push-ups on my own. My body held firm and flat against the ground, both front paws planted with my massive claws pressing deep into the earth. My back was straight as a board, every bit of it radiating core strength. Slowly I bent my front legs, lowering my body down. Every muscle pulled taut, every fiber engaged. Each press and push was loaded with raw power. Raya was completely floored. What kind of training method is this? In her past life, she had seen all kinds of brilliant body forging techniques. None of them had ever looked anything like this. Why are you just standing there, Snowpaw? Come train with daddy. I watched Raya standing there in a daze and laughed, urging her along. Raya had no real choice. She obeyed like a good little cub. She copied my position, lying flat with her paws on the ground, but her body was far too small and weak to manage anything close to proper push-ups. Her little paws kept sliding across the ground. She couldn't find the right grip no matter how hard she tried. Watching Raya struggle, I smiled. Take it easy, Snowpaw, no rush. Yes, Dad, Raya answered on the outside. While on the inside she was grumbling the whole time. What kind of ridiculous training method even is this? But she didn't dare disobey, so she kept grinding through it. After a while, Raya was completely done. She collapsed flat on the ground, panting hard, her little tongue hanging out, licking her lips over and over. She looked absolutely wiped out. I looked at how adorable she was and reached out to ruffle her little head. Rest if you're tired, Snowpaw. Raya lay flat on the ground, not even wanting to twitch. She was silently vowing to herself, this training is brutal. The Empress is never doing this again. But when she turned her head to look at me, she saw my push-up speed had been steadily increasing. Each one was perfectly executed. Strange as it looked, there was something almost impressive to watch. Before long I finished, and a mechanical chime rang out in my mind. Ding! Congratulations, host. Day 31, 3,000 push-ups completed. Reward, 10 stat points. A surge of excitement. Level up. The next moment, a visible wave of mysterious light enveloped my entire body. My frame grew a little larger. My muscles thickened. The pressure rolling off me intensified. Raya was stunned speechless. She could hardly believe what she was seeing. That crude training method was actually this effective? She had no choice but to start rethinking everything she knew about physical training. Having lived a second life, Raya knew things that most would never uncover. When the aura awakening began in her past life, beasts evolved far faster than humans. Later, after deep research, humanity discovered that it was directly tied to physical strength. The stronger a creature's body, the greater its evolution when bathed in aura. Since she had been reborn as a tiger this time, Raya made up her mind without hesitation. Build up her body as much as possible. That way, when the aura awakening arrived, she would have a head start over every beast and human alike. After grinding through several more push-ups, Raya felt all 4 paws trembling. Sweat had soaked through her white fur. This training looks simple. It is not simple. I need a break. 100 reps. Raya collapsed flat on the ground, gasping for air. Seeing Snowpaw hit 100 on her very first try, I was genuinely surprised and deeply proud. Snowpaw's got real grit. She'll go far one day. My eyes were full of admiration. I walked over to Raya and gently corrected her form with my paw. Your technique just now was off, Snowpaw. That's why you're exhausted and why the results won't be there. Come on, Daddy will show you. My movements were gentle and patient. My paw touched Raya's body lightly, guiding her into the right position. Front paws a little straighter. Keep your whole body in one line. Yes, Dad. Raya did her best to follow my instructions. It was exhausting, but for the sake of getting stronger, she had to push through. Now that I'd hit level 9, it was time to push the training harder. More intensity meant more stat points from the system. Starting tomorrow, 4,000 push-ups a day. In the days that followed, Raya came to every training session without fail. Hard as it was, every time she thought of the aura awakening and the revenge waiting for her, she gritted her teeth and kept going. Every morning, sunlight filtered through the forest canopy as Raya and I began our training. My movements were steady and powerful, each press and push loaded with force. Raya worked hard beside me, copying every movement. Her form was still clumsy, but after a few days of my coaching, it was getting noticeably better. And so the already bizarre sight of a giant black tiger doing push-ups became even more bizarre, now with a tiny white speck doing them right alongside him. Time passed. A full month went by in a blink. Ding. Congratulations, host. Day 30, 4,000 push-ups completed. Reward 20 stat points. My eyes lit up. A whole month of grinding had finally built up enough points to hit level 10. Level up. A wave of mysterious light wrapped around my entire body, visible to the naked eye. My frame grew larger once more, muscles thickening further. My definition sharpened. The power rolling off me grew heavier. Beside me, Raya stopped mid-push-up and stared at me in shock. Dad got stronger again. She had been following this training method for a whole month too. She could manage a few hundred reps a day now. It definitely strengthened the body, but the results she was seeing on me were in a completely different league. Raya looked at me, then looked at herself. Her little face crinkled. Is it just because I haven't been doing it long enough? By then, I had wrapped up training and leapt into the air, splash, straight into the stream beside us. In the month she had spent living with me, Raya had uncovered one secret after another. This black tiger dad was no ordinary tiger. She was more certain of that than ever. For one thing, I bathed every single day. I cared deeply about being clean. No wild beast does that. On top of that, she had discovered I liked eating fruits and vegetables, and had actually planted over a dozen wild fruit trees. The reason it looked planted was because the trees were arranged neatly by variety in tidy rows. Every day I made sure she had some fruits and vegetables to eat. After all this time together, what he felt like to her wasn't a tiger at all. It was a person. Maybe he was the reincarnation of some ancient demon god. That thought frightened her. If he really was an ancient demon god reborn, then the moment he discovered she was a human soul, the consequences would be unthinkable. Raya was deeply wary of this. She began hiding her secret with even greater care. Every day she played the role perfectly, the adorable, obedient, well-behaved little daughter. Before she had grown strong enough, she absolutely could not let Dad find out she was a human soul. The next morning, my low, steady voice echoed through the den. Snowpaw, we're going hunting together today. Raya stirred slowly awake, still groggy, but the moment she heard my voice, she answered right away. Coming, Dad. She shook her head to clear the fog, then darted outside. After more than a month living with me, Raya finally understood why I had been hunting so far from my territory on the day he saved her. Because of how powerful I was, every beast in the surrounding area had cleared out. Just how terrifying was Dad? Not even a rabbit remained in this entire area. Raya muttered quietly to herself, though she had to admit there was an upside. She could sleep without ever worrying about another beast sneaking up on her. A short while later, I led Raya to a different hillside. The trees here were thicker, the undergrowth deeper and darker. Sunlight struggled through the canopy in scattered patches, casting dappled shadows across the ground. Suddenly the grass ahead rustled, and a rabbit hopped out. Snow-white fur, long ears standing straight up, its eyes scanning the surroundings with sharp caution. My expression brightened. Perfect for Snowpaw, fast enough to be a real target but not dangerous. I lowered my head toward her. Go on, Snowpaw, today's lunch is all on you. On it, Dad? Raya responded instantly, pushing off hard and launching herself at the rabbit. Inside she was utterly contemptuous. A rabbit? Seriously, this is going to take the Empress herself? She crept up quietly, but the rabbit sensed the threat immediately. It spun and bolted. Raya surged forward, her body cutting a clean arc through the air, a streak of white lightning. The rabbit scrambled in a panic. Raya missed and gave chase, but to avoid giving herself away, she deliberately slowed down, let the rabbit get some distance, then sped back up. Her movements looked clumsy on purpose, as if she were straining with everything she had just to keep up. Hold still, you little! After a drawn-out chase, Raya finally caught the rabbit. It struggled in her jaws, but there was no getting free. Raya put on her best exhausted act, panting heavily, and dragged herself over to me. Pretty impressive, right, Dad? I looked at Raya with a fond, indulgent gaze. Snowpaw did great. Won't be long before she can handle things on her own. At that, Raya quietly let out a breath of relief, pulled it off. That evening, I was lying outside the den to catch the breeze, and drifted off without realizing it. My massive frame lay still and imposing, my black fur catching the moonlight with a mysterious shimmer. Raya studied me idly, boredom on her face, her eyes full of questions. She still couldn't figure out why I was this powerful. Looking at my massive form, something warm stirred in her heart. She knew how small and fragile she was beside me, and she knew that during this time, I had truly been raising her like a real daughter, while she had been deceiving him the whole time. When was the aura awakening going to come? Without aura, she couldn't practice a single technique from her past life. Raya was so tired of playing the good little cub, a restless irritation rose inside her. She hungered for the aura to arrive to reclaim her power. She was the Empress. How long could she go on living beneath someone else? Hey Aura, did you get lost on the way here? What's taking so long? Raya's heart was bursting with pride and indignation. One day she'd make Dad call her mom. Wait, no. She was going to make Dad her mount. Once she had locked in that goal, she felt a whole lot better. Just then, the mystic moon shifted. That deep violet glow in the sky began bleeding red from its edges, the color spreading like ink slowly dissolving in water. As the moments passed, the red deepened, until the entire moon looked as though it had been soaked in blood. Raya's eyes went wide, her breathing quickening. The mystic moon. It's finally turned red. In the sky, a massive crimson moon was rising slowly overhead, its surface wrapped in a hazy mist that made it look even more otherworldly and strange. From its center pulsed an eerie glow, painting the entire forest a deep, dark red. Raya forced herself to stay calm. She turned toward me. Dad, look at the sky. I followed Raya's gaze up at the moon. The violet had gone entirely, now it pulsed with that eerie red. Huh, it turned red, never seen that before. Doesn't really concern us though, it's getting late. Let's head in and get some rest. Tomorrow Daddy will take you somewhere new to hunt. In my past life I had been a top student, not in astrophysics, but I knew the basics. A color change like that was just light refraction. In my view, this was probably nothing more than a natural astronomical event. Raya panicked the moment she heard that. Sleep? Now? There's no time for sleep. She remembered it clearly from her past life. After the crimson moon appeared, a crimson rain would fall past midnight. Rain saturated with aura so dense it could alter the very nature of living creatures. And it didn't matter whether you were an animal, a plant, or human. Anyone bathed in that crimson rain would be transformed by the aura, their evolution massively accelerated. She couldn't afford to miss this once-in-a-lifetime chance. The crimson rain was the true dividing line between those who would rise and those who would fall after the aura awakening. But she couldn't just tell me that. It would raise Dad's suspicions immediately, and the last thing she wanted was for me to find out that a human soul was living inside her body. Suddenly, Raya's eyes lit up. She had a plan. She activated one of her most natural gifts, acting adorable. She scurried over and nuzzled her head against my massive paw. Dad, I want to keep watching the moon. Can we please sleep outside tonight, please, Dad? Raya looked up at me, those big dark eyes blinking slowly. It was the kind of adorable that was simply impossible to say no to. After everything she had learned about me these past weeks, she knew I truly saw her as my own daughter. Acting cute was definitely going to work. Sleep outside? I hesitated, glancing from the den to the open grass. It is pretty cool out there, to be fair, and sleeping outside with Snowpaw That actually sounds kinda nice. Being a first-time tiger dad, there was absolutely no resisting a daughter this cute when she was being this sweet. There was simply no way to say no. I reached out a paw and gave Raya's head a gentle rub. Alright, we'll sleep outside tonight. Raya burst with joy and started spinning in happy circles in front of me. Inside, she was screaming, I have zero dignity left. Raya, you absolute shameless creature. In no time, I had gathered a pile of dry grass and fashioned Raya a soft little nest to sleep in. I settled down beside Raya and looked up at the sky. 2.5 years ago, I had been just a tiger living alone in this place. But in this past month, because of Raya, everything had changed. Life felt like it meant something more now. Raya lay in the dry grass, eyes fixed on the crimson moon above, her heart pounding with excitement. Finally, she had finally waited long enough. The moment the aura awakening began, she could start cultivating again. As for the traitors who had betrayed her, she would settle every single debt, one by one. Thinking that, Raya's gaze drifted to me sleeping beside her. This time, let it be my way of repaying Dad for saving my life. She could have let me fall asleep inside and snuck out alone, let me miss the crimson rain entirely. That way she'd pull ahead faster. But when she thought of everything I had done for her, the care, the protection, saving her life, something inside her wouldn't allow it. Her conscience wouldn't let her go through with it. Time drifted on. Midnight came quietly and I had long since fallen into deep sleep, breathing slow and steady, my body rising and falling with each breath. Raya had not slept a wink. She lay staring up at the sky with wide, eager eyes, a gaze that seemed to reach straight through the clouds, waiting for the miracle that was about to fall. Boom! A deep, rumbling thunder tore through the silence of the night. The next moment, a torrent of rain crashed down from the sky, droplets hammering the earth like a string of broken beads. My senses caught it instantly. I jolted awake, every instinct snapping to attention. Why is it raining? I frowned, already about to call Snowpaw back inside, when I noticed the rain was red. Each crimson drop caught the moonlight as it fell, glinting with an eerie glow, like blood pouring down from somewhere beyond this world. Red rain. What is happening? My eyes went wide, shock filling me from the inside out. I had never seen anything like this. The sheer strangeness of it hit me like a blow. While I was still in shock, a wave of burning warmth flooded into me from the rain, like a current of heat surging through my veins, making my whole body shudder involuntarily. This rain was actually strengthening my body. What in the world was going on? Just as I was reeling with confusion, the system chime rang out in my mind. Ding! Absorbed world aura. Gained 1 stat point. Aura. The disbelief in my eyes deepened. I lifted my head slowly, a flicker of confusion in my gaze. The crimson rain itself was already beyond anything I could explain, but aura inside the rain? That was something else entirely. The chime rang again. Ding! Absorbed world aura. Gained 1 stat point. A moment later it clicked. Pure exhilaration hit me. My massive body bounced in place a few times from sheer excitement. This crimson rain was incredible. If I just kept standing in it, my power could skyrocket. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Snowpaw, get in the rain, it'll do you a world of good. My daughter, the one I had saved, meant everything to me. Of course, I wanted her to share in whatever this gift was. My gut told me this rain wasn't just falling here. This had to be a worldwide event. Inside, Raya rolled her eyes. Tell me something I don't know. The Empress has been waiting for this rain so long the flowers almost wilted, but on the outside she nodded happily. Of course, Dad. In truth, the moment the crimson rain fell, she had already been circulating her cultivation techniques in secret, absorbing aura with everything she had. But this body's base condition was still too low. Over a month of training with me and it was still painfully weak. She was terrified, I'd noticed, so she only dared to activate her techniques when my attention was elsewhere. She kept repeating it to herself. Dad can't find out my secret. Not yet. Not until I'm strong enough. I glanced at Raya once, saw her standing in the rain just like me, and didn't think anything more of it. The system chimes kept ringing one after another. What used to take days of grueling training to earn 10 stat points, now I was picking them up like loose coins off the ground. With the crimson rain falling, the world around us transformed before our eyes. The plants in the forest were growing at a visible pace, the once short grass surging upward as if something had been poured directly into its roots. From all around came the roars of beasts, primal and raw, like war drums echoing down from an ancient age, shaking the very earth. Creatures leaped and thrashed in place, the power inside them bursting to the surface. Their silhouettes flickered, in and out of the red rain, every bit of the savagery and wild ecstasy written into their blood now on full display. 2 hours passed. I pulled up my status panel. Name, Kane. Age, 2.5 years. Species, Amur tiger. Level, 10. Stat points, 2,500. 2.5 hours, and I had already stacked 2,500 stat points. A grin spread across my face without me even meaning it. Then an overwhelming, dominant aura erupted from my entire body, surging outward like a violent storm with me at its eye, sweeping everything in every direction. The crimson rain itself scattered and splashed around me, driven back by the sheer force. My already powerful body began to expand rapidly. My muscles surged and contracted like steel being hammered in a forge, rising, tightening, rising again. Every pulse felt like it contained enough force to split the earth open. My bones cracked and expanded, growing thicker and longer. as if a mountain were being reshaped from within. Crack! My paw slammed into the ground, and the hard earth was instantly gouged with deep furrows. My presence carried a crushing weight, so heavy that even the air around me seemed to compress under it. You could almost reach out and touch the pressure. Then, as suddenly as it had come, it ended. I was about to test my new strength when a surge of information flooded into my mind. Not a system notification. This was different. It felt like something that had always been part of me, dormant, only now awakened. Bloodline gift. Soulbind. Soulbind. Beginner. After slaying a creature, forcibly enslave its soul. Reading the description, a glint of delight crossed my eyes. Running wild as a tiger. This ability suited me perfectly. With Soulbind, if I ever built a following, I'd never have to worry about anyone putting on a loyal face while plotting behind my back. And the more enemies I struck down, the stronger I would grow. This bloodline gift was made for me. At that moment, Raya, deep in her cultivation, suddenly felt a powerful aura erupt beside her. Her eyes flew open. When she realized what had caused it, her heart seized. Dad had broken through to the awakening stage. She couldn't believe it. She checked again, feeling the aura radiating from me, and when she confirmed what she was sensing was real, she drew a sharp breath. She had seen geniuses before. She was an empress after all. But this was 2 hours after the aura awakening began. 2 hours, and he had already reached the awakening stage. That was terrifying. Inside her, awe at my rapid growth mixed with a quiet, creeping unease. It confirmed what she had suspected all along. Dad really was a transcendent being reincarnated. Nothing else explained this kind of breakthrough speed. She would need to hide her identity even more carefully. Until she reached a level of absolute power, she could not afford to be exposed. In her past life, it was the people closest to her who had betrayed her, and that was what had brought her to ruin. She hadn't known me long, but she could feel that I was genuine with her. But the scars from her past life ran deep and wouldn't heal quickly. Raya would never move to harm me, but she refused to walk the same road to ruin twice. The crimson rain kept falling. I opened my mouth, eyes blazing with hunger, drinking it in. Stat points kept piling up. In just another hour, I had gained over 1,000 more. Pure joy filled me. The stat points were coming in faster than I could count. Compared to the pace I was gaining them now, the last 2 years of training felt like crawling along a dry riverbed. Beside me, Raya watched me drinking in the crimson rain, and a flash of violet light passed through her eyes. She activated her past life cultivation techniques and began pulling in world aura with everything she had. Around her body, a small vortex of aura began to form, drawing in the surrounding energy in a steady, endless stream. My growth had already blown past anything she had imagined. The aura was at its densest right now, fresh from the awakening. She had to make every second count. By the time dawn arrived, the crimson rain had finally stopped. The sky, once stained deep red, had cleared. The twin suns hung high above. Even the bare patches of ground were now covered in growth. If not for the fact that every plant and tree had grown to several times its original size, everything would have looked almost normal. I opened my status panel again. 7,000 plus stat points had stacked up. If level 11 was already this powerful, what would level 12 feel like? Level up again. This time something felt different from before. An invisible force stirring deep inside me, flowing through my meridians like a surging river. Even my very soul seemed to grow clearer and purer under its touch. Nearby, Raya surfaced from her cultivation and opened her eyes. When she felt me break through again, the same stunned expression returned to her face. No way. Dad broke through again? How is that even possible? No matter how dense the aura was right now, reaching this level this fast shouldn't be possible. Unless, was it because Dad was using a completely different cultivation method? I hadn't paid any attention to Raya just then. The moment the evolution finished, my attention went straight to the advanced skills on my status panel. Over the past 2.5 years, I had evolved every basic skill to the advanced tier. Now that I had broken through to level 11, those advanced skills could be upgraded again. I had no idea what they'd become. After a brief hesitation, I poured 1,000 stat points into superior intimidation. In an instant, a flood of information surged into my mind. A strange light flashed through my eyes, like a mysterious fire igniting deep within them. Dread gaze. Beginner. Fix your gaze upon a target and draw out the deepest fear buried within their heart. Dread gaze. So this is what superior intimidation evolves into. Before the upgrade, I could already keep every beast in the area too terrified to linger nearby. That kind of dominant pressure just came naturally. Now that it had evolved, there was no telling how far it could reach. My eyes, bright as bells, gleamed with anticipation. I'd need to find something to test it on. I turned my gaze towards Snowpaw beside me. A faint violet glow was radiating from her body. It swirled around her like something out of a dream, a layer of mysterious focused energy. Is the little one awakening a bloodline gift too? Looks like she's got real talent. Raya felt my gaze land on her, and her heart lurched to a dead stop. It's over. Dad noticed. Will he get suspicious? Will he kill me to keep things quiet? If he actually does that, what do? I'm no match for him right now. Run. But where would I even go? Just then my voice came, warm, curious, full of anticipation. Snowpaw, what bloodline gift did you awaken? Raya's sharp eyes darted around for a moment. Bloodline gift? She hadn't even reached the awakening stage yet. There was no way she had awakened a bloodline gift. Did Dad not know that? Was that why he was looking at her? He genuinely thought she had awakened one? Raya carefully lifted her head and met my eyes for just a moment, then made her decision. A small lie to cover the cultivation. Dad, I awakened a bloodline gift called Lunar Veil. As long as I'm under moonlight, I can absorb world energy 10 times faster. 10 times? That's a solid gift. A glint of pleasant surprise passed through my eyes. Raya was still small and weak right now, but with my protection, it was only a matter of time before she grew strong. Thinking that, I reached out my large paw and gave Raya's head a gentle rub. Then you'd better work even harder. Don't waste a gift like that, and don't you dare use it as an excuse to slack off. Understood? Raya nodded obediently. I understand, Dad. I'll work hard. Meanwhile, beyond the forest, the world after the Crimson Rain was utterly transformed. The rain had set off a global uproar among humanity. What is that red rain? Something's seriously wrong. Things this strange don't happen for no reason. I have a bad feeling about this. Can someone with actual expertise please explain what just happened? Plenty of people who had been caught in the rain reported feeling noticeably stronger. Their bodies felt charged with new energy, muscles tighter, minds sharper. The internet was flooded with comments, photos, and videos. My chickens have lost their minds. They chewed through my security bars, the actual steel ones. Is anyone else's pet doing this? This is terrifying. Maybe we should just get rid of our pets. Cute as they are, mutated animals are a different story. While the arguments raged online, one video appeared that made everyone suddenly terrified of the animals around them. It was clipped from farm security footage. Every single cow and sheep on the farm had mutated. The once docile animals now had blood-red eyes and sharper, more lethal horns. They were growling, actually growling. And then they broke through the fencing. The reinforced barriers that should have held them collapsed instantly under the impact. The animals charged at the farm workers and began attacking without any restraint. One worker was sent flying by a mutated bull, crashing hard into the ground. Another was surrounded by a mob of sheep, their hooves stomping him into the ground until he stopped moving. When the video ended, every person who watched it felt their blood run cold. All across the world, horrifying incidents were breaking out one after another. Panic spread. The world was descending into chaos. I knew nothing of what was happening out there. I was still happily staring at my status panel, eyeing the 1,000 stat points remaining. Running the numbers in my head, sitting on them wasn't going to do much. Better to put them toward another skill upgrade. After thinking it over, my eyes settled on Superior Fang Strike. By now I had already figured out that the entire world had shifted. It wasn't just me and Snowpaw who had grown stronger, plenty of other beasts had too. In this territory, I was the undisputed king. No beast would dare set foot here, but I couldn't stay in this patch of forest forever. What I needed right now was a combat skill. As the stat points flowed in, a mysterious force surged through my claws. I could feel my claws being wrapped in searing, blazing energy. Then on my status panel, Superior Fang Strike had become Titan Claw. Titan Claw, Beginner. Claws hardened to metal, can pierce steel and split stone, carries a rending effect. Delight broke across my face. I activated it without another second's hesitation, and my claws turned solid gold. A cold, deadly gleam ran along every edge, as if a legendary weapon had just been brought into the world. I scanned my surroundings. My eyes landed on a large boulder not far away. I swung my claw in a single explosive strike, straight at the rock. Boom! The boulder exploded into dust under the force of Titan Claw. I stared at what was left of it, my eyes lighting up. Now that's a skill. Titan Claw lives up to the name. A boulder reduced to dust in one strike. Even beasts that had been through the Crimson Rain, the ordinary ones, wouldn't survive a hit like that. For now, there wasn't a beast out there that could threaten me. The sound pulled Raya's attention over. She turned toward it, and her eyes went wider than saucers. Is that Dad's bloodline gift? It looks incredibly powerful. This is bad. Dad's strength is rising way too fast. The aura awakening just started, and he's already at this level? She had to train harder. She could not afford to fall too far behind. After the aura awakening, the world had changed. The aura density would drop slightly from its peak, but not by much. And at the rate I was progressing, if she wanted any chance of catching up, she would have to push herself even harder. At the same time, between the Crimson Rain and her cultivation techniques, Raya herself had changed considerably. Her once tiny frame had grown noticeably larger, and her fur had become smoother and more lustrous. But standing beside my massive body, she was still just a tiny speck. Raya felt the aura radiating from me. Raya makes a quiet decision. It doesn't matter. The aura awakening has already begun. With aura filling the world, she can break through to the awakening stage within half a month. Once she reaches the awakening stage, she can resume the advanced combat arts and secret techniques from her past life. The cultivation method she practiced was called the violet flame breathing. In her past life, cultivation methods were ranked as mortal, king, emperor, and earth tier. The violet flame breathing was an earth tier technique. Every time it cycled, it felt as if one danced in harmony with heaven and earth. This was her greatest trump card. Then my voice reaches her ear. I gaze at Snowpaw gently and give her a quiet reminder. Head back to the den and rest. Dad's going to find us some food. Raya nods obediently, her little face full of worry. Okay, but please be careful, Dad. I gently nuzzle the top of her head. Be good and wait for me. Don't go wandering off. I turn and step into the jungle. The forest I once knew has been transformed beyond recognition. Gentle hillsides have become dense, sky-blotting thickets, and the streams have been choked down to thin trickles by tangled overgrowth. Trees that were once tall now pierce the clouds, their canopy so thick that even the blazing midday sun can't break through. I scan my surroundings as I walk, unable to hold back a sense of awe. The change is staggering. It feels like stepping into an entirely different world. I make my way to a neighboring hilltop and catch the distant sounds of beasts clashing and roaring. The raw, violent scent of the wild rushes straight at me. I sharpen my focus instantly and creep carefully toward the source of the sound. Just 2 steps in, the grass ahead crashes flat with a violent thud, and a massive mutant boar, drenched in crimson rain, charges into view. It's the size of a small vehicle, its limbs thick as stone pillars. Dark red skin bristles with needle-hard fur, and its scarlet eyes burn with savage fury. I size up the mutant boar, already calculating, this thing is big enough, perfect to bring back and bulk up Snowpaw's diet. Then the boar kicks off with its hind legs, sending up a cloud of dust, and charges at me like a runaway beast. I almost laugh. Beasts in this forest used to run the moment they saw me, and now this one volunteers itself. Fine, you're today's meal. The boar lowers its head, tusks aimed straight at my gut, dead set on a kill shot. I don't even flinch. My body flickers like a black shadow. Titan claw flashes gold, and with one clean slash, the boar splits open with ease. Its massive body slams into a tree, shrieking without stop. Then, moments later, crashes to the ground with a thunderous thud. The nearby beasts feel the weight of my killing aura and scatter in every direction. The forest falls silent in an instant. I drag the boar back to the den and call out for Snowpaw to come eat. Snowpaw's eyes go wide at the sight of the giant boar. Her little tail wags non-stop as she bounces toward it. I start a fire by friction and get the meat roasting. Snowpaw crouches beside me like a well-behaved little cub. The rich aroma of roasting meat soon drifts through the air. I tear off a chunk nearly as big as Snowpaw and pass it over. Snowpaw tears into it with big bites, mumbling through a mouthful, "So good." I watch her with fond eyes and smile warmly. "Slow down. If you like it, Dad will catch you another one next time." I think to myself, the aura awakening has doubled the dangers out here. Training at a human's pace is no longer enough. I have to grow stronger, fast, if I'm going to protect Snowpaw. I find a boulder weighing 1,000 jin, grip it firmly with both claws, muscle swelling, and press it overhead. Raya looks utterly puzzled and trots over. "Dad, what are you doing?" I give a brief reply mid-squat, boulder still raised above my head. Watching the training method, Raya is struck by a sudden memory. The ancient secret text describing how demon gods tempered their bodies. Her heart jolts with shock. She quietly suspects I might be a reincarnated ancient demon god, and stays on guard, careful to keep her own secret that she carries a human soul. I train in focused silence. Conserving stamina for real threats, I stop after 3,000 squat reps. The boulder hits the ground with a tremor. I turn to Snowpaw, voice full of care. "Dad's heading to the river to wash up. Don't go wandering. If anything feels dangerous, call for me right away." Raya answers sweetly, "Got it, Dad." The moment I'm out of sight, Raya drops into a cross-legged position and pushes the violet flame breathing to its limit. Aura swirls around her, radiating a brilliant violet glow. She's focused on breaking through to the awakening stage as fast as possible. Too focused to notice the mutant golden eagle circling high above, eyes locked onto her. The eagle's wingspan stretches over 10 meters, its golden feathers blazing in the sunlight. The moment it spots the violet glow around Raya, greed flashes in its eyes. It dives like a bolt of golden lightning, talons driving straight for her. Raya's eyes snap open. She seethes internally. "Filthy bird, you're barely late mortal stage and you dare come after me?" Raya uses her ghostly footwork to dodge with ease. The eagle misses and dives again, this time with even greater ferocity. Raya wants to unleash her secret techniques and end this, but she's afraid of exposing her true power and arousing my suspicion. Torn and anxious, she keeps dodging. Then an idea strikes. She throws her head back and lets out a terrified tiger's cry. "Dad, come save me." I'm soaking in the river when Snowpaw's young, frightened cry reaches my ears. My tiger eyes snap open instantly. Towering rage surges through me. I leap out of the river and tear toward her at full sprint. "You dare go after my daughter? You've got a death wish." The eagle's repeated misses drive it into a frenzy. Gale force winds tear through the forest. Raya is barely holding on. One slip and her real power will be exposed. At that exact moment, a tiger's roar explodes through the forest like thunder. "Snowpaw, don't be afraid. Dad's here." Shaken by my aura, the eagle tries to flee, but Raya isn't letting it go. She secretly channels her soul power to restrain it, sending it lurching and tumbling out of the sky. My mountain-like frame arrives in an instant, black fur gleaming with cold light, eyes blazing with fury locked onto the struggling eagle. "You dared to harm my daughter. Not even the gods can save you today." My razor-sharp claws rake across the eagle's back. It shrieks in agony and thrashes desperately, all for nothing. One swipe of my paw and its body shatters. The eagle dies on the spot, eyes filled with rage and regret. I leave the eagle's corpse without a second glance and rush straight to Snowpaw, checking her over with urgent eyes. "Are you all right? Are you hurt?" Raya immediately throws herself into my arms, eyes reddening, looking small and helpless. "Dad, I was so scared." Buried in my paws, she looks like a picture of fear and hurt, but through the gaps, her eyes are fixed on the eagle's corpse, quietly gloating to herself. I stroke her little head softly, voice low and soothing. "It's over now. It's all over. Dad already took it down. No beast will dare touch you again." Once Snowpaw has calmed down, I turn toward the eagle's body. My eyes go cold. I activate my innate ability, Soulbind. In the next instant, a soul form drifts slowly from the eagle's corpse, now bound to my will as a spirit thrall. The eagle's soul form hovers in midair, a shifting, near-invisible thing, woven from wisps of silver-gray smoke, its entire form wrapped in a faint black mist that ripples like a flowing dark veil, the eagle's outline barely visible within. I raise a paw and examine the soul form with curious golden eyes. So this is what a soul form looks like? Why does it look so strange? I thought it would look like its living self, just more transparent. Didn't expect the black mist, or for it to seem this fragile. Is it because the original was so weak? Nearby, Snowpaw, that is, Raya, suddenly widens her amber tiger eyes. Her reincarnated soul power far surpasses any ordinary beast's. letting her see the soul form in perfect clarity. She freezes slightly behind a tree, her mind reeling. A soul form from a mere mortal stage beast? Shouldn't a spirit like that just scatter after death? The eagle's soul form drifts in a daze, as if clawing its way out of a void. Two hollow eye sockets slowly fix onto me. A faint but unmistakable soul message flows into my mind. My lord. Something stirs in me. As a spirit thrall, it holds absolute loyalty toward me. Even with its diminished awareness and limited ability to communicate, that pure, unwavering devotion transmits without reservation. Information about it floods into my mind at the same time. It cannot make physical attacks, but it can damage souls directly. Those with weak soul power cannot see it at all. My tiger eyes light up the moment I process this. The muscles beneath my black fur tighten slightly, invisible. A quiet thrill runs through me. Since the aura awakening, every beast's instincts have been pushed to full savagery. This territory is no longer truly safe. The eagle's intrusion was a warning bell, and this invisible soul form is a natural early warning system. A thought clicks into place. I address the soul form in a low, commanding voice that leaves no room for question. From this day forward, you patrol this mountain. The moment any intruder enters, alert me through soul message immediately. The eagle's soul form responds with deference, its soul ripple carrying total submission. As you command, my lord. The eagle's soul form dissolves into a wisp of black smoke and slips silently into the forest. Raya stares at the spot where it vanished, the shock refusing to leave her face. She walks over slowly and buries her head into my massive, fluffy chest, ears drooping, pretending she saw nothing. I nuzzle the top of her little head, voice soft and full of care. Don't be scared, Snowpaw. With Dad here, no one can touch you. Raya nods sweetly and gives my paw a small lick, her voice soft and doughy. I know Dad will always protect me and beat up all the bad guys. Outwardly, she's all sweetness and charm. Inwardly, nothing but contempt. But deep within those seemingly innocent tiger eyes hides a trace of fear she can barely suppress. A common beast? As if I would fear that. What I fear is, she sneaks a careful glance up at me, her small body trembling slightly, already drowning in inner panic. What I'm afraid of is Dad. Ancient demon gods despise humans. If he finds out I'm a human soul in a tiger's body, would he roast me over a fire? I notice nothing out of the ordinary, assuming she's still shaken by the eagle, and offer a few more gentle words of comfort. Meanwhile, Raya swears a silent oath. She will play the perfect obedient daughter. Even if it kills her, she will never let the secret slip. Thinking about Snowpaw's potential, a sudden pressure settles over me. If the day comes when I can't even beat my own daughter, what kind of father does that make me? I eye a nearby 1,000 Jin boulder and feel a new resolve take root. 1,500 Jin, that sounds about right. I can push it higher from there. I look at Snowpaw curled up beside me, and something warm fills my chest. Snowpaw, whether you're a little white tiger or a reincarnated demon god, the moment you called me Dad, you became my daughter forever. Over the next few days, I keep up my training without fail. Every morning when the first light filters through the dense canopy, I'm already at my training spot, gripping a 1,500 Jin boulder, muscles straining, pressing it overhead again and again. Snowpaw trains nearby, but her stamina is nowhere near mine. She can only keep up for a short while before she hits her limit. She switches to playing on the side, chasing butterflies in wide, happy circles. While I'm deep in training, she sneaks off to a hidden cave, settles into a cross-legged sit, a faint violet glow rising around her small frame. The playing is all an act, a performance put on for me. She runs the violet flame breathing, greedily pulling in the surrounding aura. Breaking through to the awakening stage as soon as possible, that's her real priority. She has to break through fast, leave this place and chase the destiny that belongs to her. Several days pass without me showing any sign of suspicion. Raya finally lets her guard down, settling into a daily rhythm of secret cultivation and performing the role of the adorable daughter in front of me. One morning after training, I give Snowpaw a gentle pat on the head, voice carrying a clear reminder. Dad's heading out to hunt. Stay home and be good. No wandering off. Raya tilts her head up, amber eyes brimming with sweetness. Got it. Please be safe, Dad. I'll be right here waiting for you to come home. I turn and step into the forest. My silhouette quickly disappears among the trees. Raya waits until I'm well out of sight, certain I won't be back anytime soon, then drops into a cross-legged sit, a thrilled smile tugging at her lips. She feels the thick aura filling the world around her, eyes shining with anticipation. Today's the perfect chance. With Dad away hunting, she's seizing the moment to break through. After days of intense cultivation, she can already feel the threshold of the awakening stage within reach. She draws a deep breath and pushes the violet flame breathing to its absolute limit. Her small body becomes a black hole for aura, devouring everything around her in a frenzy. Dazzling violet light envelops her entire body, breathtaking, almost dreamlike, casting a purple hue over every flower, blade of grass, and tree nearby. With every breath, torrents of aura surge in like a tide. Her power swells without stopping. Wrapped in that mysterious force, her small body quietly begins to grow. Her eyes deepen to a rich violet, flickering with an otherworldly glow. Then, with a sharp crack inside her mind, like a shackle shattering, everything shifts. Her violet eyes fly open. She leaps to her feet in elation. I did it! I've finally broken through to the awakening stage. The aura awakening is still new. Very few beasts have reached the awakening stage yet. I'm already ahead of the world. Every opportunity I missed in my past life, Raya is coming for them all. Just as it happened when I broke through, a surge of information floods her mind from nowhere. When she processes it all, her joy doubles, and the violet aura around her blazes even brighter. Raya stares at her own paws, eyes wide with delight. My bloodline gift has awakened. Phantom split. I can create clones with power equal to my own. How long they last depends on my cultivation level. This ability ability is far from ordinary. It'll make luring enemies and handling business so much easier. She scans her surroundings cautiously, confirming I'm still gone. Her nerves and excitement collide as a bold idea takes root in her heart. She's reached the awakening stage now. She has the power to protect herself. Dad is away. This is the best possible moment to slip away. She has always known that once she broke through, she would have to leave. But looking at the stone house before her, a deep reluctance grips her chest. Every stone of this house was laid by my own hands. It holds every memory they've ever shared. Raya stands before the stone house, her claws scratching the ground without thinking, her tiger eyes tangled with emotion. Sigh, I really don't want to go. The taste of Dad's roasted meat flashes through her mind. Her throat tightens slightly. Once she's gone, she'll never taste his cooking again. She knows the truth in her heart. Cain is a reincarnated demon god. She's a human soul. If the truth ever comes out, the consequences are unthinkable. On top of that, the aura awakening has put her past life's greatest opportunities within reach. She still has traitors from her former life to hunt down, and she must return to the Earth stage as quickly as possible. Raya clenches her jaw, eyes burning with resolve. In this life, I will reach the Earth stage as fast as possible, face whatever strange invasions come, and make every one of those traitors pay. Gritting her teeth, Raya activates her secret technique. Every hair on her body stands on end as violet light rises around her, building in waves as the technique runs its course. Her face twists in pain, cold sweat drips from her fur. She can't hold back a low groan as her body trembles violently, power draining away. She spits out a single drop of blood, a blood pearl infused with the essence of the violet flame breathing. It is the most thing she carried over from her past life, and she intends to leave it for me as repayment. Raya drags her exhausted body into the stone house. She sets the blood pearl on the bed. Her tiger eyes linger on it, full of tenderness. Let this be my way of repaying Dad for saving my life and raising me. She says it silently in her heart, then her gaze turns completely resolved. Goodbye, Dad. If it's all the same, it might be better if we never meet again. Then Raya turns and doesn't look back. She runs, decisively, in the direction opposite to where I went hunting, tears pooling in her tiger eyes. Meanwhile, the aura awakening has pushed the forest beasts to new heights, but in front of me at the awakening stage, they're nothing more than prey with bigger portions. I drag a massive mutant boar back through the trees, humming a light tune, in high spirits. The thought of Snowpaw bouncing with joy when she sees roasted meat fills me with warmth. Back in my territory, I call out toward the stone house, Snowpaw, time to get up, breakfast is ready. Dad caught another wild boar and I even found some new spices. But the cheerful reply I expected never comes. My hands freeze mid-motion on the boar. My tiger eyes dart toward the stone house with a flash of confusion. This little one is usually out the door by now. What's going on? I stride inside and search every corner, but there's no sign of Raya anywhere. Snowpaw, where are you? Stop playing hide and seek with Dad, come help out. Still no answer. Panic starts to grip me. My mind goes straight to the worst. What if a beast has taken her? I immediately summon the eagle spirit thrall that's been patrolling the skies. Have you seen Snowpaw? The eagle spirit thrall sends back its message, Snowpaw has left. I stand completely frozen. She left? Why would she leave without even a word? After everything Dad did for you, do you have any idea how dangerous it is out there? But the anger fades fast, leaving nothing but worry. I press the thrall for the direction she left. When I hear it, my eyes fill with bitterness. The opposite direction. She really meant to go. I give the eagle spirit thrall a sharp command. Move immediately in the direction she left. Fast, don't stop. The moment anything looks wrong, alert me at once. I don't waste another second. All four limbs surge with power as I become a black streak, tearing through the forest. My mind is consumed by one thing, her safety. Snowpaw, you are so reckless. The world outside is full of danger. When I catch you, young lady, you are in for a serious scolding. Deep in the forest, Raya sprints away, joy overtaking the ache of leaving as pure excitement takes over. Ha ha ha! I'm finally free from Dad. Free at last. No more living in fear that my secret gets out. The path ahead is wide open. She passes little squirrels and rabbits, playfully startling them with a greeting, sending the tiny creatures fleeing in all directions. Then, without warning, a wolf the size of a young bull bursts from the bushes, its green eyes locked on Raya, practically salivating. Raya stops in her tracks, her tiger eyes full of contempt. A measly mortal stage beast coming for me? You have no idea what you're stepping into. Raya strikes first. Her claws flash violet, moving like a bolt of purple lightning. One swipe sends the wolf flying. She holds her head high, dripping with satisfaction. Now you know fear. Tough luck for you. I've got places to be. But the moment she feels smug, wolf howls erupt from every direction. A dozen massive wolves pour out and surround her completely. The alpha is larger than the rest, fur as black as the night sky, a beast at the peak mortal stage. Raya's chest tightens instantly. She frowns, calculating. A wolf pack again. I just drained my energy. My body is still weak. This many wolves is going to be trouble. On my end, I'm charging through the forest by scent alone. Every beast that senses my presence scrambles out of the way. The eagle spirit thrall suddenly picks up something wrong and relays the news. Snowpaw is surrounded by a wolf pack. My eyes ignite with fury. My speed explodes as I become a black bolt of lightning. Damn pack of wolves. You dare touch my daughter? If anything happens to her, I will slaughter every last one of you. Snowpaw, hold on. Dad is almost there. Raya hears the familiar tiger's roar and her heart drops. She's like an ant on a hot pan. No, 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 Dad is catching up. This is all these stupid wolves' fault. A wolf lunges at her, seizing the opening. Raya forces her panic down and knocks it away with a single swipe. She hisses under her breath, I swear it's all you filthy wolves' fault. The alpha wolf sees its chance. It signals the pack to attack from all sides, while it quietly slips around for a strike from behind. Raya's face drains of color. No, another ambush. Just as the alpha's claws are about to reach her, a massive black shadow explodes into the scene, crashing in with overwhelming force. I let out a thunderous roar, open my jaws wide, clamp down on the alpha's throat, and snap its neck with one surge of force. One swipe of my claw tears the alpha wolf in two. Raya sees the familiar silhouette. Her eyes go red, and before she can stop herself, she cries out, Dad! The pack watches their alpha die in an instant. Rage takes over as they charge, and my eyes fill with nothing but killing intent. Titan Claw manifests. I tear through the pack without mercy, roaring as I go. You animals, you dared to surround my daughter. Every single one of you dies today. I unleash a tiger's roar and activate Dread Gaze. The wolves are struck to the soul. Sheer terror shatters their will, and they scatter in a wild, desperate rout. I confirm that Snowpaw is unharmed and let out a breath of relief, but the thought of her sneaking off without a word makes the anger surge right back. Snowpaw, where exactly did you think you were going? Raya's mind goes into full panic. It's over. Dad's angry, I can't fight him and I can't outrun him. She says nothing, which only fuels my anger. You've gone too far this time. You did something wrong and you can't even feel sorry about it? I'm going to have to teach you a lesson today. My tiger paw lifts, and a small white figure hurls herself into my chest, a soft, teary wail breaking out. Dad, I thought I'd never see you again. Wah! Snowpaw bursts into tears. My outstretched paw freezes in midair. The entire tiger is baffled. I haven't even done anything yet. How is she already crying? Is this some kind of talent unique to females, where tears just show up on demand? Raya blinks with wide, watery tiger eyes, tears rolling, little paws clutching at my fur and giving it a gentle tug. The picture of absolute grievance. Dad, I only came out to find you. I got lost and ended up here by accident, and then those horrible wolves attacked me. Thank goodness Dad was here to protect me, or I might never have seen you again. Raya burrows into my chest, playing the role of the helpless victim to perfection. Inside, though, she's running calculations. Can't beat him, can't outrun him. The only option is playing cute and pitiful and hoping to bluff her way out. She knows me well enough. Act helpless and I'll soften up and forgive her for sure. My tiger eyes stay fixed on her, full of doubt. You came out to look for me? My mind churns with questions. Wasn't she leaving? But then I see the tears at the corners of her eyes, and all those questions go quietly back down. Raya's heart gives a nervous lurch, but her face stays wide-eyed and innocent, head bobbing as she answers in her sweetest, most babyish voice. Of course. Why else would I come all the way out here? I waited at the stone house for long, never came back, so I went out to look for you. I didn't know the forest was that big. I got lost, and then those awful wolves showed up. If Dad hadn't arrived in time, you would never see me again. Seeing my expression soften, Raya presses the advantage while she can, keeping up the good daughter act. Dad, I promise I'll never run off again. I almost couldn't find my way back to you. She prays silently, terrified that I'll find the blood pearl she left behind. Watching her look so sincere, I start to believe it. My heart settles. Forget it. Whether she's lying to me or not, anyone who calls me Dad is Kane's daughter for life. My voice comes out low but gentle. All right, stop crying. Dad's taking you home. Raya lets out a quiet breath of relief, quietly smug. Dad still loves me best. Crisis averted. Having pulled off the deception, Raya climbs triumphantly onto my back, draping herself across it like a little pendant. Back at the stone house, Raya spots the boar carcass and immediately puts on her hungry act. She bounces over to it, voice sugary sweet. Dad, I'm starving. Can you please roast some meat for me? I smile with indulgent fondness. All right, wait right there. Raya agrees sweetly, and the moment I'm distracted washing the meat, she slips into the stone house and quickly hides the blood pearl she left behind. The escape attempt ends in complete failure. Over the following days, Raya becomes a model of good behavior. When I train, she stays by my side. When I hunt, she stays home and cultivates. She even grooms my fur with her little paws, chirping sweetly. Dad, does this feel nice? One day, while the two of us are eating roasted meat, a strange and captivating fragrance drifts in, carrying what feels like a touch of magic. My keen nose twitches. I lift my head and scan the area. What is that smell? Raya's little nose works hard, her head turning toward the orchard. I think it's coming from the orchard, the one you built before the aura awakening by transplanting trees over time. Something stirs in Raya's heart. A hidden thrill lights up inside her. Could these be spirit fruits? She knows that after the aura awakening, plants can mutate too, producing rare treasures capable of boosting power. Raya's round tiger eyes fill with anticipation. Dad, let's go check it out. I nod, just as curious. All right, let's go take a look. The two of us arrive at the orchard. A rich, unusual fragrance washes over us, and the fruit trees are lush and full. Raya's gaze locks onto a deep crimson fruit, and her eyes light up instantly. A blaze fire fruit. Having been an empress in her past life, she recognizes it immediately. A rare fire tribute spirit fruit. Raya marvels inwardly. She never expected a blaze fire fruit to grow right here in Dad's orchard. The blaze fire fruit can temper the body and awaken fire attribute talents, a perfect match for her violet flame breathing. Raya's heart leaps with joy. With a blaze fire fruit to help, her cultivation speed is going to skyrocket. She spots more rare spirit fruits throughout the orchard, crimson blood fruit, mystic core fruit, and others, and bounces excitedly between the trees. Raya thinks to herself, if all of these fruits fruits were hers, her power would shoot up in no time. I study her with narrowed tiger eyes and frown. Snowpaw, do you know what these fruits are? Raya's heart jolts. She realizes she's overplayed it. She quickly shakes her head and plays dumb. How would I know, Dad? I just think they look really pretty. Raya feels a chill. She almost gave herself away. I don't press further. I believe that one day she'll tell me on her own. I can tell these fruits are no ordinary things. I leap up and pluck a blazefire fruit, feeling the scorching heat the moment it hits my palm. Is this thing actually edible? It looks kind of strange. Forget it. Only one way to find out. I swallow it whole. A wave of searing heat surges through my body instantly. Then the system notification chimes in my mind. My tiger eyes go wide, stunned and thrilled at the same time. One fruit gives 1,000 stat points. With this many fruits, eating them all might let me break through on the spot. I grab a gold force fruit and swallow it too. More stat points flood in. I'm so excited I almost leap off the ground. This is incredible. I should have dug up every fruit tree on the mountain from the start. Raya watches me gulp them down whole without a second thought, eyes wide and mind screaming. What a waste of treasure. How can you eat spirit fruits like that? Dad is absolutely hopeless. Raya stares at me with big pleading eyes, unleashing her full arsenal of cuteness. Dad, I want some too. You're so mean. Eating so many, not giving me any. I hesitate, not because I don't want to share, but because I worry her small body can't handle the overwhelming energy packed into these fruits. Snowpaw, you're still little. What if it's too much for you? Raya pouts and rubs her head against me. Please, Dad. I see the longing in her eyes, and my resolve crumbles. I pick a fruit and carefully break off just 1/4 for her. This fruit is too powerful. This is all you get. Be good about it. Raya stares at the tiny piece, her mind full of question marks. Is he seriously treating me like some little kitten? Dad, it's fine. I can handle it. I give her head a gentle pat. Be patient. Once you're stronger, Dad will let you eat as many as you want. Raya swallows her protest to keep up her good girl image and reluctantly agrees. Fine, but when I grow up, I'm eating every single fruit in this whole orchard. I nod with a fond smile. Deal. When you grow up, every last one is yours. I proceed to swallow a few more fruits. Raya watches in stunned silence, equal parts baffled and wronged. Raya mutters under her breath, he's at the awakening stage and he's eating that many spirit fruits. Is he not afraid of exploding? Terrible dad, hogging all the good stuff for himself. One day when I get the chance, I won't leave him a single seed. I pull up my status panel, buzzing with excitement. The stat points are piling up fast. At this rate, it won't be long before I level up again. Plenty of fruits in the orchard are still unripe, so I lead a very reluctant Raya away. She follows behind me, glancing back every few steps, full of resentment. Then a new idea lights up in my head. When I go out hunting, I can search for more, and bring back the whole trees. Raya has clearly thought of the same thing, but she doesn't dare slip away again, afraid of getting caught a second time. 2 days later, deep in the dark primeval forest, I move through the shadows with sharp focus. Alongside the eagle spirit thrall, I now have 2 new thralls bound to my will, a mutant black bear and a mutant giant python. Binding 3 soul forms sends a faint sting through my soul, and confirms that at the basic level of soul bind, the cap is 5 thralls. Using soul forms to scout for spirit fruits quadruples my efficiency. They keep Snowpaw out of danger too. Invisible and able to patrol freely, they're the perfect scouts for finding rare fruits. At that moment, the eagle spirit thrall sends a sudden message. It has picked up a trail of spirit fruits. I move without hesitation. Ahead, a horrifying crimson vine coils like a blood-red serpent, bearing scarlet fruit, and scattered beneath it, the bones of beasts that never made it back. I stay on guard. Every instinct tells me this vine is extremely dangerous. The vine suddenly moves. Its tendrils lash out like whips, sweeping toward me in a frenzy. I let out a furious roar, claws blazing gold with titan claw. You want to die? One swipe, and the vine is cut into pieces, the severed ends still writhing on the ground. The vine seems to realize it's outmatched. It goes still instantly and doesn't attack again. I don't give it another look. I pick the scarlet vine fruit and swallow it whole. The system chimes one after another as stat points pour in. My heart surges with joy. Eating mutated fruits really is the fastest way to stack points. 2 more days and I'll be ready to level up. I don't linger. I turn and head home immediately. I can't stop worrying about Snowpaw alone at the den. I arrive at the stone house and hold up the scarlet vine fruit, voice low and warm. Snowpaw, look what Dad brought back for you. Raya's eyes light up the moment she sees it. Her little paws wave with excitement. Dad, you're the best. I put on my most serious face. Don't eat too much of this at once, just a small piece. Be careful not to hurt yourself. Raya nods obediently, completely unconvinced inside. Got it, Dad. 1 little spirit fruit? She could handle a few more with ease. The orchard fruit should be ripe by now. The moment I turn away to deal with the prey, Raya pops the entire fruit into her mouth and swallows it whole. Spiritual energy blazes around her instantly. With enough spirit fruits, her cultivation will climb at incredible speed. Night falls. Moonlight pours over the forest. Inside the stone house, I sleep soundly. A small figure slips quietly out of the stone house. Raya. Moving with the grace of a white cat, she pads silently toward the orchard, her tail swaying lightly to mask her nerves. Several spirit fruits in the orchard glow with fragrance under the moonlight. Ripe. Raya's eyes shine. Just as I thought, more spirit fruits are ready. She reaches out an eager paw, just about to pick one, when my voice breaks the silence of the orchard. Snowpaw, you're misbehaving again. Raya jolts from head to tail, her excitement snapping instantly into panic. Oh no, Dad caught me! She was so careful, and still couldn't escape my notice. My massive frame approaches slowly, each step steady and heavy. The ground trembles faintly with every footfall. In the moonlight, my black fur shimmers with a cold gleam. My tiger eyes carrying an authority that needs no words. Raya watches me come, heart beating faster. Dad really is getting scarier by the day. She racks her brain for an excuse while her eyes stay glued to the tempting fruits. She tilts her head and puts on her most innocent face. Dad, what are you doing here? I just couldn't sleep, so I came to look around. These fruits are really so beautiful. I stare at her, watching her put on a full performance. I see right through it. This little schemer is playing tricks on me again. She's craving a snack, plain and simple. It's not the fruit I'm holding back, it's the worry that her small body can't take the raw power packed inside. If she forces it and gets hurt trying to hold it down, I can always find more fruit, but I can't afford to lose Snowpaw. Have you finished digesting the piece I gave you earlier today? Raya blinks, then catches on and nods quickly. Don't worry, Dad, it's all been digested. She's quietly smug, certain this answer will convince me to let her have more. I scan her carefully, searching for any sign of a lie. No problems with your body? Raya thumps her little chest with absolute confidence. Not a single thing. Inwardly, she's bursting with pride. She was an empress in her past life, armed with the violet flame breathing. Digesting a spirit fruit is nothing. Raya looks up at me with wide pleading eyes, one paw tugging gently at my fur. Full charm mode activated. Dad, please just let me have one more. These fruits are so beautiful. I just want a little taste. Watching her longing eyes, I start to waver. Snowpaw must have some secret that lets her process spirit fruits so quickly. Maybe it has to do with her demon god reincarnation bloodline. Alright, one more and that's it. From now on, whenever a fruit ripens, you can have one a day. Not a single one more than that. Raya erupts with joy, bouncing up and down on the spot. Yes, Dad, you're the best dad in the whole entire world. Time flies. Nearly 2 months have passed since the Aura Awakening began. In the early days of the Aura Awakening, Manhwa Nation was plunged into chaos as mutant beasts ran rampant. Cities became battlegrounds. People fled in every direction. It was nothing short of a living nightmare. The military responded swiftly, unleashing a storm of firepower to suppress the beast outbreaks and fighting back with everything they had. Researchers then developed an enhancement serum using the flesh of mutant beasts, boosting human physiology and giving people the capacity to fight back. A month ago, a video of a man controlling fire in his bare hands exploded across the internet. It was confirmed he had awakened the ability after consuming a mutated fruit, and the age of the awakened had officially begun. Those who awakened extraordinary powers were called the Awakened. Major corporations, powerful families, and military forces scrambled to find mutated fruits and cultivate their own awakened fighters, and the Global Awakened Top 100 rankings were born. Kangling City, named after the Kangling mountain range, was swept up in a frantic rush to seize mutated fruits ever since the existence of the Awakened came to light. Recently, Kangling City's two top powers, Iron Shield Group and Everrise Group, joined forces to push into the Kangling mountain range. Both groups recruited global top 100 awakened fighters including a Stormblade and a Galeborn, and assembled elite squads. This marked the first time humanity had launched an active offensive into the Beast Heartland, and all of Kangling City was buzzing with talk. Back in the forest, mutated trees block out the sky. The beasts that have survived have carved out their own territories, each one ruling its patch of land. My massive frame moves through the shadows, eyes fixed on a fruit tree not far ahead. The fruits on its branches give off a silver glow, like stars shining in the dark, radiating unmistakable power at a single glance. My golden eyes blaze with excitement. These fruits are going to give me a massive haul of stat points. At that moment, an enraged roar erupts. Beneath the tree, a massive black panther snarls at me with everything it has. Built like forged steel, its green eyes fierce, the panther refuses to back down even in the face of my presence. It would rather die than abandon the fruit it guards. In an instant it drops low, settling into a combat stance. I sneer with contempt and let out a sharp roar. Get out of the way, this has nothing to do with you. My massive paw swings with a speed the panther can't even register. One strike sends it flying through the air. It hits a tree trunk like a sack of rags, blasting a crater into the bark. Completely broken by the hit, the panther ignores the pain and bolts in a blind panic. Without a shred of sympathy, I stroll to the tree, pluck a silverlight fruit and swallow it in one go. The system chimes. I open my status panel and check the stat points, and my heart explodes with joy. Finally, enough. For the past few days I've had the spirit thralls scouring the area, and at last I've accumulated enough points to level up. I order them to keep searching and turn back toward my territory. With my territory confirmed secure, I focus my mind and prepare to level up. It begins. Intense light radiates from my entire body. My frame grows even more imposing and my aura surges wildly. On my forehead, a golden character slowly takes shape, the mark of a king, radiating absolute authority. Raya senses the shift in my aura and stops her cultivation, heart full of quiet awe. Dad really is becoming more terrifying with every passing day. Dad grows stronger and stronger, while my own progress feels painfully slow. The gap between us is only going to widen. It figures, a reincarnated demon god cultivates at a pace no one else can match. But I can't afford to fall behind either. As long as I can get out of here and claim the great opportunity from my past life, I will surpass Dad for sure. She knows she can't close the gap through normal cultivation alone. Her only hope lies in the destiny she left behind in her past life. I have no idea what's going through her head. I'm completely lost in the thrill of my new power. This feeling is incredible. The level up is complete. My body has grown grown even larger, and the golden king's mark on my forehead commands fear without a single word. I look at the remaining 1,000 stat points and decide to spend them immediately. Sitting on points is a waste. Better to pour them into Superior Fang Strike. The moment the points flow in, Superior Fang Strike transforms completely into a brand new talent, Shadow Surge. As the information hits me, I gasp with pure excitement. A base speed of 40 times, and Shadow Surge can push it 10 times higher for a short burst. Combined with Titan Claw, this is an unbeatable combination. I turn to find Snowpaw staring straight at me. I grin. I dart over, scoop her up in one smooth motion, and set her gently on my back. Raya jumps at the sudden move. Dad, what are you doing? I laugh with open delight. Snowpaw, hold on tight. Dad's taking you for a ride. Raya blinks, completely lost. A ride? Without hesitation, I activate Shadow Surge. My body becomes a streak of black, and in an instant, I'm gone. Raya grips my fur for dear life, hair whipping wildly in the gale, screaming in a panic. Ah, Dad, you're way too fast. I'm going to get blown off. Ha! Now that's exciting, Snowpaw. Hold on tight and don't you dare fall. The next day arrives in a flash. Even after breaking through, I don't let up. I keep pushing through intense training without a single day off. My training weight has climbed to a staggering 3,000 Jin. Every rep is a raw display of overwhelming strength. I know the stat gains from spirit fruits are unpredictable. The system gives fewer points, but they add up over time, and the process tempers the body itself. I go on to successfully bind 2 more spirit thralls. After breaking through, my thrall cap rises from 5 to 8, and fruit scouting efficiency jumps dramatically. One day I head out hunting as usual. Raya wakes up and finds I haven't returned yet. Looks like Dad won't be back for a while. Perfect chance to sneak over the orchard. Just a tiny bite. Dad will never notice. She flickers and becomes a streak of violet light, bounding toward the orchard with full enthusiasm. Fruit! Here comes Raya. But the moment she arrives at the orchard, the scene before her ignites her fury in an instant. A massive black shape roams freely through the orchard, helping itself to spirit fruit after spirit fruit without a care in the world, as if at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Raya looks closer. It's a massive black bear, the size of a small hill. Her claws clench into fists and she roars in outrage. You shameless beast, you dare steal from my dad's orchard? I'll beat you into the ground. The bear turns its head toward her, eyes full of contempt, dismissing her entirely, and pops another fruit into its mouth. Raya shakes with fury, her round tiger eyes blazing, cheeks puffed up in indignation. She remembers it perfectly. Dad already promised that every fruit in this orchard would be hers. These fruits are her treasures, and the foundation of her future cultivation. Every fruit this bear destroys is a step stolen from her path forward. Raya glares at the bear, claws tight. Those are gifts Dad saved for me. You rotten beast! I'm going to make you regret this. With me nowhere nearby, Raya drops any pretense of restraint. This is a perfect chance to test just how far her cultivation has come. Violet light explodes around her like a brilliant shining armor. In the next instant, her small body becomes an arrow off a bowstring, shooting straight at the bear. The bear has absolutely no idea it's in serious trouble. To it, Raya is a tiny thing it could swat away with one paw. It keeps its head down, devouring fruit after fruit, juice dripping from its mouth, its giant body snapping tree branches as it goes. The sluggish bear finally senses something wrong, but the moment it turns around, a violet blur is already right in front of its face. Raya lets out a furious shout. You foul beast! Stop right there! Smack! Her violet-charged paw slams hard into the bear's forehead. That small frame carries terrifying force. The enormous bear gets knocked flat on its back. The bear's head spins, skull ringing, and it takes a moment to come to its senses. The moment it realizes it was knocked down by a little white tiger, it explodes with rage, beating its chest and roaring, feeling utterly humiliated. Raya dodges with effortless grace, eyes full of contempt. You big dumb bear? Stealing my fruit and then acting all tough about it? Ha! You can't even touch me. Unable to land a single hit, the bear flies into a complete rage. Its eyes go bloodshot and its body surges to twice its original size, the sheer pressure of its presence filling the air. Raya raises an eyebrow, mildly surprised. A bloodline gift, and it's an awakening stage bear too. So what? Awakening stage means nothing to me. She was an empress in her past life, and with spirit fruits fueling her cultivation, she has already reached the mid-awakening stage. An early awakening bear doesn't even register as a threat. A thought flashes through Raya's mind. You think you're the only one with a gift? She activates Phantom Split, and several identical copies of herself appear instantly, surrounding the bear from every side. The bear stares at the multiple white tigers, completely dumbstruck, and before it can react, the assault begins from all directions. Violet light flashes without pause. The bear howls as blow after blow lands, its movements growing sluggish. It can't lay a paw on Raya no matter how hard it tries. Raya's voice turns cold and sharp. Now you know you messed with the wrong one. You stole my spirit fruits. Today I'm going to knock you into next week, and then I'm going to finish you off in tribute to every fruit you wasted. Just as Raya moves in for the kill, the bear suddenly curls up, arms over its head, trembling non-stop, actively begging for mercy. Raya pauses, genuinely intrigued. You actually know how to beg? The bear has already awakened basic intelligence, and the idea of taking on a follower sparks in Raya's mind immediately. Raya thinks it over. Dad can bind spirit thralls, but a former empress deserves followers of her own. After eating so many of her fruits, this bear owes her 100-fold, and it could be useful. Raya walks up to the bear and gives a small wave of her paw. I'll spare you, but from this day forward, you work for me. The bear doesn't fully understand what that means, but it knows that obedience means survival. It nods furiously, hammering its head against the ground and leaving actual dents in the dirt. Raya smiles with satisfaction. Not bad. You catch catch on fast. She then activates her secret technique. A beam of light shoots into the bear's mind, sealing a blood-soul pact, giving Raya total control over its life and death. Good. Now go find me more spirit fruits. Hurry up and get out of here. My dad will be back soon and you won't be walking away if he sees you. Like a prisoner granted amnesty, the bear bolts down the mountain at full speed. And at that very moment I return from hunting, arriving just in time to see a bear fleeing in absolute panic. The bear senses Kane's terrifying aura and the memory of Raya's beating flashes through its mind, and it collapses on the spot, legs completely giving out. I look at the cowering bear and let out a short laugh. This bear evolved and somehow forgot to bring its courage along. So crude. It really is so crude. Outside the stone house, Raya lies draped over a smooth boulder, watching Kane lift rocks with a look of pure boredom. Does this kind of primitive body training actually do anything? She has watched Kane grow stronger with her own eyes, and still cannot understand how something so basic can produce such explosive results. Raya senses my aura and thinks quietly, Dad must be at the late awakening stage by now. His presence is so much stronger than before. If I stay here any longer, I'll never surpass him. The treasure of Xuanfeng Mountain is about to appear. That's my opening. I have to find a way to leave. Right at that moment, the system chimes in my mind. I stop training and set down the 4,000 Jin boulder without a wobble. Congratulations, host. 7 consecutive days completing the daily 4,000 Jin lift. Reward, 200 stat points. Raya scrambles over and lifts up a water bowl with both paws, straining under the weight. Dad, you must be thirsty. Here, have some water. I lower my head and drink in big gulps, smiling warmly. Snowpaw, you're such a good girl. A quiet contentment fills my chest. I'm glad I saved Raya that day. Having a daughter by my side, it warms something deep inside me. Raya hops onto my back and presses her little paws gently along my spine. You must be tired, Dad. Let me give you a back massage. My ears shift with quiet pleasure. This daughter of mine, she's worth every bit of love I've given her. But in her heart, Raya tells herself, consider this fulfilling her duty, repayment for Dad raising her. After all, she will be leaving soon. The next day, I patrol the forest with my spirit thralls. The nearby area has been thoroughly picked clean of spirit fruits. My patrol range keeps expanding. This entire region has become my backyard. Every beast in it knows to fear me. Suddenly, my eye catches an unusual fruit. It glows faintly like a gemstone carved by time itself. My eyes light up. I move to pick it. A ferocious beast explodes from the undergrowth, enormous, covered in hard scales, tusks bared and reeking of blood. It lets out a furious roar, warning Kane to back off. I narrow my eyes, voice cold and contemptuous. You think you can stop me? I blur, leaving a phantom in my wake as Titan Claw flares to life and rakes toward the beast. The beast refuses to yield. It swings its massive claws back. The two of us clash hard. Dust fills the air, branches snap and fall, and the exchange is fierce. I watch with sharp eyes, sidestep a blow, and drive Titan Claw with full force into the beast's exposed gut. Blood sprays out as the beast lets out an agonized shriek. I give it no time to breathe. One palm drives straight into its chest. The beast dies on the spot. I cast a brief dismissive glance at its body. I pluck the fruit and swallow it whole. Not a bad haul. It's getting late. Snowpaw must be hungry. This is today's catch. Just as I prepare to head home, a rapid burst of unusual sounds reaches my ears. My expression turns serious. I tilt my ear toward the sound, and my heart sinks. Gunshots! At the outer edge of the Kangling Mountain Range, the Iron Shield and Everrise group camps are fortified and ready. Soldiers stand armed and on full alert, surrounded by heaps of beast corpses. Deeper inside the forest, an awakened squad is closing in on a mutant firewolf. The young squad commander, said commander, gives orders through his earpiece with steady composure. All units form a surrounding formation. Don't get too close, it's nearly spent. Second squad, watch for casualties and cut off any escape. Third and fourth squads stay on standby to move in. The mutant firewolf is armored in tough scales. Bullets barely leave a scratch. It unleashes a furious roar and blasts out a surge of raging fire that sweeps across the field. The awakened fighters scramble in panic, on the verge of being overwhelmed. A silver figure drops from the sky. A global top 100 awakened fighter has arrived, the Stormblade. Great wings shimmer with vivid light. The Stormblade's eyes flash as he barks in a cool, commanding voice. Everyone, fall back. The Stormblade sweeps his wings and unleashes a torrent of lightning, shattering the firewolf's attack in an instant. The wolf glares, but there's nowhere to run. It throws itself into a desperate counterattack. The Stormblade speaks coldly, a beast with an awakened talent. The stronger it is, the more valuable it becomes. He blinks behind the wolf, raises a hand, and calls down a bolt of lightning. A thunderous crack, and the wolf takes a direct hit. He rises into the air and weaves lightning into a net, locking the firewolf in place, then hammers it relentlessly. The wolf struggles, but there's no way out. It crashes to the ground with a thunderous collapse, charred black by lightning, and stops breathing entirely. The awakened fighters look on with awestruck faces. The lead unit is unreal. A global top 100 fighter truly lives up to the name. The Stormblade's expression stays cold and sharp. Stop wasting time. Start searching for mutated fruits immediately. Don't let Everrise Group get ahead of us. The group answers in unison, yes sir. Every detail of this is being captured by the Eagle Spirit Thrall overhead, feeding it all to me in real time. The images flow through the Thrall's link into my mind. Firearms, lightning, a shadow crosses my eyes. Humans have set their sights on this place. The days ahead will not be quiet. Nearly 3 years in this world, and this is the first time I've encountered any trace of humans. In my understanding, the forest belonged to the beasts. Their arrival has shattered everything I assumed to be true. These humans don't just carry powerful firearms. They wield extraordinary powers as well. This is the one thing about this world that differs from the life I lived before. A sense of danger settles over me like a storm cloud. I think it through quietly. With my current strength, can I stand against humans? I know the truth of it. Those who are not of your kind will never truly be on your side. Even though I have no intention of going after humans, the moment my true nature is exposed, they will come for my life without hesitation. The only way to protect myself is to grow stronger. Before, if I couldn't win, I could always run. But now there's Snowpaw. This little one has given me something to hold on to in this strange world. Even if I suspect she may be a reincarnated demon god, it has never mattered to me. As long as Snowpaw calls me dad, she is my daughter. Always. I have to push my growth faster. I murmur to myself, right, I'll add another 1,000 jin to the lift tomorrow. Only by becoming stronger can I survive in a world this full of danger. One thing brings me a measure of relief, my mountain. Deep within the mountain range, layer upon layer of peaks and dense forest form a natural barrier that humans will struggle to breach. This is without question a safe haven gifted by fate, giving me the time I need to grow. I arranged for the Eagle Spirit Thrall to keep surveillance on the humans' movements. The Eagle Spirit Thrall operates like a ghost in the machine. Not a single beast has ever detected it. They move in the open, I move in the dark. There is no better setup. With everything in order, I head back to my territory. Meanwhile, deep in a quiet stretch of forest, Blackrock moves with heavy, deliberate steps, every footfall sending a faint tremor through the ground. Its big fuzzy paws cradle 2 radiant spirit fruits with great care, its eyes filled with reverence. That reverence isn't for the fruits, it's for Raya, who is about to receive them. Blackrock crosses the forest and arrives at the meeting spot it agreed on with Raya. It's not far from my territory, just over one small hill, but unless I specifically came looking, I would never find this place. Raya stands quietly in a patch of light and shadow, her small figure full of quiet energy. The moment Blackrock sees Raya, it lets out an eager low rumble and hurries forward, bowing its massive head slowly to place the fruits before her. That once ferocious body, now utterly gentle. Raya takes the fruits in her small tiger paws, eyes shining with delight. She gives Blackrock's big head a satisfied pat. Blackrock, well done. Hearing the praise, Blackrock's enormous body sways with excitement, just like a child who's been told it did a good job. It lifts its head and gazes at her with honest, simple eyes, making a low rumbling sound. Raya lifts her chin and addresses Blackrock with an air of authority. Keep up the good work. Once I'm powerful enough, I'll make it worth your while. Blackrock doesn't quite grasp the full meaning, but it thumps its chest and lets out a series of eager howls, sincerely pledging its loyalty. Alright, go now. Dad will be back soon. Don't let him find you here. Raya urges it along, a quick gleam of cunning in her bright eyes. She has no intention of letting me know about her arrangement with Blackrock, and she absolutely cannot let me discover that she carries a human soul. Blackrock obeys without question, turning and disappearing into the trees, fed by the spreading aura. The foliage here has grown extraordinarily thick, grass rising several meters high, and within moments, that massive body is completely swallowed by the green. Only once she's certain Blackrock is completely gone does Raya turn and head home at ease. What she doesn't know is that I've already noticed her dealings with Blackrock through the spirit thralls, but thinking of Snowpaw's possible demon god origins, I have no intention of pressing the matter. As I see it, everyone has their own secrets. This might simply be part of Snowpaw's path, and I have no desire to interfere. But thinking about the humans outside, I feel I need to warn her. When Raya returns, I don't bring up what I know. I simply say, Snowpaw, for the time being, do not leave this place. Not for anything. Raya's heart lurches. Has he found out about her plan to escape? A flicker of panic crosses her eyes. She steadies herself almost instantly, blinking her expressive eyes and tilting into her sweetest voice. Dad, what are you talking about? I could never bear to leave you. I'm not sure whether to believe her, but my tone carries the weight of a warning. Staying is the best choice. There are humans everywhere outside right now. It's far too dangerous. Humans? Raya blinks, then it clicks. The humans have started moving against the beasts. As someone who was once among humanity's greatest warriors in her past life, she has some understanding of how humans operate. But in this life, they seem to be moving faster than she remembers. Seeing Raya frozen, I assume she doesn't understand and hurry to explain. Humans, they are an incredibly terrifying kind of creature. If they ever catch you, you'll wish you were dead. Raya stares at me in a daze. So this is how Dad sees humans? It really does seem like he's a reincarnated ancient demon god, born in opposition to humankind. This makes it all the more critical that he never discovers who she really is. Her small body trembles slightly as she puts on her most frightened face and throws herself against me.